Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is hautemesstom, and thank you so much for clicking on this declutter. This is part of my larger mid-year declutter series, and I'm going to be releasing it segments by segment over the course of however long it takes me to get through it. And then after I post all the segments, there will be one mega cut, super long video, because I know a lot of people like to unwind and watch these and relax. And just so you know, if you are going to watch any of these, there's no spikes in volumes. And if I do play music, it's going to be very chill and really low volume so that it's not jarring as you watch it, because I don't want you to be jarred if you were starting to fall asleep and were watching my video. If you want to just jump into the declutter, feel free to click through down below. There's going to be timestamps. I do want to give you some context about what my goals were in this declutter. I am a content creator that sometimes gets PR, and I sometimes buy things for review. And what that means is that I have more makeup coming through my house at any given time. And this is a part-time gig for me. Like, the PR has just been more and more recently. And I do like to test things. I like to try new things. And I like to pass that information on to people who watch my channel. But what it means is for the stuff that I'm not actively reviewing is that I don't get to it as much. And what my goal is in this declutter is to really be serious about what I'm actually using and what I will use in my free time off of camera or when I'm not testing things. So this is a pretty thorough and large declutter. Like, I'm getting rid of a lot of makeup through it. It doesn't happen in every one of the segments, but in most of the segments, there's a lot of makeup being decluttered in the series. I don't want you to ever feel that your makeup collection is too small or your makeup collection is too large. We're all allowed to navigate the beauty space as we see fit. But my personal belief, my personal opinion is that I think that we should be consuming makeup products, buying makeup products with the intent that they are going to be really, really good products that we are going to want to use all the way up, that we're going to love as long as we can, whether or not we get to it enough to use it before it either goes off or we get bored of it. I think that we shouldn't be buying makeup with the idea or the feeling that we are gonna do a declutter later. It's a little bit different for me as a content creator, but like, if I wasn't a content creator, that would be how I would want to buy makeup. Like, that would be my vision for it. And that's not to say I'm not going to ever buy and keep makeup in the future. It's not to say that whenever PR comes through that I might not keep some of it because it's really high quality, but I'm just doing this all with the understanding that my personal makeup collection, the stuff that I consider to be mine, the permanent collection, is something that I need to keep a little bit smaller than I have in the past. This isn't to tell you that you need to declutter your makeup collection. Just know that going through that is the approach I'm coming at this with. It's really important for you as someone who might not be a content creator who gets PR or has additional money coming in for the sole purpose of reviewing makeup to view this as something that's a part of this job and not something that you should have to do as a consumer. That's all I wanted to say before we jumped into it. So I hope you enjoy my declutter. So these are all of the lip products in my collection that I consider to be permanent. Let's start going through them and see if we can declutter anything. These are everything that I consider to be lip liners. Two of them are not technically lip liners, but I use them like lip liners. It's from Half Magic. This is the Sculptitude 2-in-1 lip liner. It's double-sided. So this is the taupe side, and then there is a side that has black. But I actually really, really like this product. I like to wear it on nights out, and I actually really like to do the lip combo with both of these. I'm not so into dual-ended things because I am absolutely going to go through the taupe faster than I'm going to go through the black. It's one of very few Half Magic products I actually have tried and really, really like. So I think I am going to keep this one. I keep it with my lipsticks as opposed to my lip liners most of the time because I typically use just both sides of it. I don't really just use one or the other. I normally am using both if I'm using this. I do also have a black lipstick, which we'll talk about later. That's nice to have for that. I just very rarely wear just black lipstick. The only thing that I could think about decluttering because of this would be this. This is the Endless Cacao liner from Makeup Forever, and it is also a cool taupe, essentially the same color. The reason I don't want to get rid of this is simply because the taupe in this Half Magic one isn't going to last an incredibly long time, and I had this Makeup Forever one first. If I would have gotten them at the same time and I would have tested them at the same time, I probably would have gotten rid of the Makeup Forever one. Not because I think it's a lesser product, but it just doesn't make sense to have two taupes. I guess lip liner is really easy to pass on. I actually really like the Makeup Forever product. But seriously, if you look at those two, I think that maybe Endless Cacao is a little bit darker. And I do think of Endless Cacao before I think of the Half Magic one. It's just something that's just I don't need both of these. And the thing that would make more sense to get rid of is the Makeup Forever one because it's only the one shade while this has two. Two other lip liners that I have are from MAC, and these are both browns as well. This is the shade Chestnut, and I received these in PR. I'm also going to swatch Chestnut over here, but I think it's warmer. It is warmer, but for a second there I thought, oh my gosh, why do I have three of the same lip liner? And then this is the shade Cork, which is also pretty warm, but it's more of like a yellow warmth. And then Chestnut has more of like a red warmth, but I would say Chestnut's more neutral than the ones over here and this one. I like these lip liners a lot, and I'm going to keep both of them. And you might be saying to yourself, if you're new here, like, why do you need so much brown lip liner? Brown lipstick is basically my favorite color of lipstick. I have a lot of brown lips, and they do vary in undertone. All right, let's look at this one next. This is from Victoria Beckham. It's the lip liner in shade 5, sorry. Actually, this is really, really similar to Cork. Okay, I would say that these two are the same. The MAC pencil is newer, the shade Cork. I've had the lip definer from Victoria Beckham for a while. I still feel like it performs. I would say that the quality and texture of these are very, very similar, so I don't think I need both. Since Cork is newer and hasn't been sharpened as much, I'm going to pass on Cork. From Charlotte Tilbury, I have this lip pencil. It is the shade Hollywood Honey. And the thing about this is I don't use it very often. It's not like a lip liner that I really like. It's so red. Whenever I saw Hollywood Honey, I was thinking more like the two shades here, and then it turned out to be like this red undertone. I bought this when I did my Charlotte Tilbury review, and I obviously have used it a little bit because it's been sharpened quite a bit. Like, I have used it, but the only lip product I really like to wear it with are the cherry lip products, cherry lip pick lip gloss thing from About Face, because it goes really well with the two shades I have in that. But I don't even really feel like I need lip liner for those. Like, it's nice. I'm normally reaching for a brown, but I have so many browns, which is why like none of them are like sharpened all the way down. It's like, it looks like I've used it so much, but I swear to God I haven't. But it also was the first lip liner I ever really had. If I'm being honest, like I just wasn't a lip liner person before this. And this actually made me really enjoy lip liner. So for that, it is, you know, that's nice. I think this is actually a good candidate for the Purgatory box. So I'm going to put it in the Purgatory box. And then I have this hot pink one from Patrick Ta. It's in She's Hard to Get. It's a hot pink lip liner. It is weird because it has like an angle applicator, which I'm like indifferent to. And also it's one of those formulas that you have to click up and you can't retract. So just know that if you were to ever buy this, the lip color that goes with it, like the lipstick that goes with it, it's not something I wear very often, but I will say that this is helpful because it's such a bright, punchy color. Having a lip liner that matches it exactly is very, very helpful. So I am going to keep it even though it's like pretty specific. And then I have these two lip stains from CoverGirl. They're the Outlast lip stains, and I have the shades Brazen Raisin and Natural Blush, which is so funny. Maybe they do watch my videos. CoverGirl sends me PR. These were PR. And they just sent me two lip colors that like I have the remnants of the swatches here. And they were these exact colors. I'm swatching them here because they're lip stains and they're going to stain. And I want to have this available to swatch other things. So that's Brazen Raisin. And this is Natural Blush. Also, I don't know. Now that I'm looking at Natural Blush, it looks kind of similar to the Hollywood Honey shade. Hollywood Honey is more brown, but I feel like they're similar enough. I can actually declutter the Hollywood Honey one because I do like these because they are lip stains. I wear them as lip liners, as I've mentioned. They last really well, like even better than some of the lip liners. With lip liners, I'm keeping 7 and I'm decluttering 2, which feels good. I don't feel like I have a ton of lip liners or things that I consider to be lip liners. So I don't feel like I had to like really cut a lot. It's not one of my favorite categories of makeup, so it doesn't feel like a quote unquote problem area for me. The lipsticks also I don't feel like a problem area for me. I think I'm more confused about how I ended up having so many lip products, which seemed to happen all of a sudden. Like I feel like I just narrowed down my lip collection so well, and then now it's like so big again. here's everything I consider to be like a lip gloss or a glossy lip. So I have some lip oils in here as well. This is from Rhode. It's their clear lip balm, so there's nothing too exciting going on. I keep forgetting to use this. I actually really quite like it. And the thing about the lip balm kind of products is I just feel like I use them to use them, and I don't really have any like strong connections to them. I feel like every brand is releasing lip balms right now, and I also feel as though that they are getting sent out in PR quite a bit, which I'm thankful for because I'm actually really bad about not only buying lip balm, but like remembering to put it on. And I also would beg to say that there's probably lip balms that I have that are somewhere throughout this house that I don't have down here and are maybe in purses and stuff. So this wasn't my only lip balm, but I'm going to keep it because it will get used. So from Pat McGrath, this is the shade Love Potion. It's a very, very pretty, just kind of very milky, nudie gloss that has some cool toned pearlescence to it. I would say the color itself isn't cool toned, but like there are bright white and bluish pearls in there. I always feel like swatching lip gloss is such a fruitless task, but I actually really like this shade. This is one of my oldest lip glosses, and if I don't use it for a while, it starts to look like this one, which is my other oldest Pat McGrath lip gloss. And I don't think they've gone off. Like, they still smell okay. Pat McGrath kind of has like a vanilla-y smell. They don't smell off, but I actually quite like this shade. This is a shade of Pat McGrath lip gloss that I would consider rebuying because it feels kind of special to me. So I am going to keep that one. Pat McGrath doesn't make my favorite lip gloss. In fact, my favorite lip gloss, I don't own any of my favorite lip gloss right now, which is the Victoria Beckham. So this is another one from Pat McGrath, which I guess I must have used quite a bit of it. There's a lot of windowing happening in this one. But yeah, I don't think there's actually a lot of product in here. And this is like a very cool toned baby pink. I also like this one quite a bit, although I feel like maybe I don't have that much of it left. So maybe this is something that I can consider trying to like pan, because I have been enjoying a cool tone lip and I can't see why I wouldn't, you know, make an effort to use this up. So I will hold on to that one. This is something I got in PR as well. This is from Isamaya. It's their Lip Lac 2.0 in the shade Metal. And as you can see, I use this quite a bit. So I'm not going to declutter it. This is like a sheer silver glittered lip gloss. It has a plumper in it and it calls itself a serum. I don't know that I agree with it having the consistency of a serum. To me, it just feels like lip gloss, which is totally fine. It's allowed to feel like lip gloss. Again, I've been really enjoying a cool toned lip, which is why this one has been used so much. I'm tearing through this, but if I had paid $40 for this, which I think is what the retail price is of it, I wouldn't have enjoyed paying $40 for it, but I like it for what it is. So if you know of any dupes of something like this, let me know, because obviously I'm going to use it up. I really like it. It doesn't have to be a lip plumper. Just the color is really what I'm concerned about, like that sheer cool metal color. It's not that I wouldn't buy this from Isamaya again, but I think that like for $40, I'm expecting more from like the packaging. So for example, like the YSL Candy Glaze is like this beautiful weighted shiny packaging because it's like a luxury brand. I just don't feel like I'm getting that out of this. It does have like a ring in it like up here, but every time I've had a product from Isamaya that's had one of those, they fall out and I lose them. I don't know where it is. I don't know what happened to it. It could have happened at the club. I have no idea, but it's gone. But I really like this. I will probably finish it, which is kind of bananas to say. Let's go through my In Beauty Project glaze. I have lip swatches of this. I made a little short with it. I also ranked the flavors. This is the shade Cookie, which I really, really like. It's just like it's very nudie. And these are all pretty sheer. Also, if I ever get sick of this one, my friend really likes it and I can always give it to her. But I actually really like all of these. This is actually the one that started it all. This is the Fruit Punch shade. And the reason I like really fell in love with them is because they are sweet and they taste good, which is like not a real selling point, but it's just something to note. This is the shade Frosé. And it does have a kind of shimmer particle aspect to it. And then I was just wondering if it was at all like Future Femme, but it isn't. Like, it's mostly just sheer with some pink shimmer in it. And I do feel like that is also sheer with pink shimmer in it, but there's a slight tint, whereas I feel like this almost has no tint. I am keeping all of these. I don't know if I flat out said that, but I really like this. This one I use more as like a lip balm. This is the Mystery Glaze. It is my least favorite flavor. It's like a blue raspberry. And I would say that even though it shows up pink in the bottle, It is mostly just clear. I don't even think it might have a pH thing in it, but it's like mostly sheer. But I don't think it has the pH in it because I wear it as a lip gloss all the time. Although now it looks like it's staining my arm. So maybe it does. Maybe that's the mystery. This is my favorite of them. This is Extra Glaze, and it's just a very sparkly lip oil, which I'm not sure that everyone's into sparkles in their lip oil, but I like sparkles. And this is Vanilla Mint, which is the worst flavor, but it is really pretty on the lips. Again, it's just another subtle gloss with some shimmer in it. I would say that the shimmer is more visible in this than it is even in the Frosé or the Extra Glaze. They all look very similar, but I view these more, even though they have like a tint to them and have some glitter in them. These are things I feel like I can throw on with no makeup. This is Pina Colada, and it's basically just like cookie but sparkle is kind of the vibe. But yeah, I would wear any of these without makeup. These are things that I just like kind of have all around the house. For some reason, all of them are in that container right now, which is pretty strange. That's very uncommon for them all to be there. Another lip oil I have, this is from Sigma. Oh, I wiped off all the branding somehow. This is from Sigma. It's their lip oil in the shade Tint. This is the lip balm that I'm like most actively trying to pan. And it's just like this beigey nude shade. I would say it's mostly sheer. Like I wouldn't say that it really has too much of a color. If you have unpigmented lips, maybe it will show up as a color, but for me, it's just kind of clear. I don't like this. I wouldn't buy this. This was sent to me in PR. Some people really love this, but to me, it's a very thick lip gloss as opposed to being like a lip oil, which it doesn't feel very nourishing to me, like other than the way that like lip glosses might feel a little bit nourishing because they are like thick goo. But I'll keep it because I'm, again, just trying to use some stuff up. I hate swatching stuff just kind of like in general, but swatching lip glosses is like an actual nightmare on my skin. Like I hate the way it feels. These are all from the recent collections with Judy, Annette, and Tina. So this one is, oh, this one's a lipstick. Hold on, we'll talk about that in a moment. I kept two of the lip glosses from the recent Ode Inside collection. I received it in PR. This is one that Tina made, and it is in the shade Creativity, and this is in the Glow formula. They had two different formulas come out whenever they released these. The Glow formula has shimmer particles in them. They're really thin, and they're almost kind of hard to catch on camera, but I really like them because they have the shimmer particle in them. There is some leftover shimmer from all of the sparkly lip glosses I just swatched. I really like that shade, but I'm not like super attached to it. And I feel like I have a lot of stuff that kind of looks like this. I just feel like I have so many lip glosses right now, and it's just like, do I need all of these? And it's like, I don't. But this one is from Annette. It's the Glow lip gloss in Breath of Fire. And again, because it's a glow, it has some shimmer in it. I don't want to get rid of all of my warm toned lip gloss and lipstick products because I have been so into cool tones lately, but every now and then you need a more warm toned one. But I think what the reality is, if I'm going to choose between either one of these, I'm probably going to choose this one. It's a little more sheer, and the pops of glitter in it are like this beautiful pink, but I think I'm okay letting go of the Breath of Fire one. I just don't reach for like red lip products very often at all. And even though that's such a sheer red, it's just like, I don't need it. I probably won't wear it too much. So I'm going to declutter that. All right, next we'll talk about my About Face ones. So this is the Peach Punisher Cherry Lip Pick Lip Butter color, or whatever they call it. It's so long. I have to imagine that's all for SEO. The thing about this shade is that I almost never reach for it, but when I do, and if I'm wearing it in a video, 1.5 billion people, meaning two, ask me what shade that is, and they really like it. I also have Nashi Pear, which is more of a nude, but I feel like on my lips, it pulls really, really warm. Like it looks really light here, but I feel like it makes my lips look really dark when I wear it. This is the one I wear more. And like I just said with this other lip gloss, I'm not really reaching for like reddish, ruddy lip glosses very often. And I actually really like this formula. I don't like the way they smell, but I like the formula in them. But I just think Nashi pear is where I'm going to keep things. And Peach Punisher, while really lovely, I can make it really lovely for someone else. It doesn't have to be mine. Next up, I have 3 lip glosses from Fighting Ferdinand. They were all collaborations with Khaki. The first one's Limoncello. I actually already swatched it, but I wasn't paying attention to where my arms were. It's right here. It's very sheer and has like gold flakes in it. If I have anything that's close to it, it would be the Extra Glaze, but these are more neutral champagne-y, and these are definitely like a warmer gold. It's not something I wear a lot, but I actually like having it on hand, and it smells so good. It's limoncello scented. Next, this is Cafe Noisette, and it's like this cool-toned beige that has blue sparkles in it, and this one smells like coffee. But they did a really good job with the coffee scent in it. It smells really, really good. Like, it smells really good. It's my favorite. I know a lot of people wouldn't like a coffee scented thing, but I really like a coffee scented thing. Most people like the gourmand scents for their lip colors, or like even go citrusy. But I really like the way this smells. Also, it's like, it's beautiful. It's one of my lip products that I reach for the most, like on or off camera. Like if I'm doing a cool tone look, I normally am pulling for this. And then finally, there's Haute Cocoa, which is a darker cool toned brown. I love it. It's delicious. And it smells like cocoa, which is my least favorite scent of the 3 scents that I've tried from Finding Ferdinand. But I really like the color of this, so it's worth pushing through. Gonna keep my cool toned ones. And then I finally have 2 of the YSL Candy Glazes. This is shade 14. This is Scenic Brown. And I would say this is like a brown with some like maybe pink or red in it. It definitely is a lot warmer than the last one I swatched, but I feel like on my lips it lands a little more neutral. It doesn't feel like I can't wear it with cool toned eye looks, but I just wore this for the first time in a while the other day, and it was incredible. I really like this formula still. I really like the shade, and I'm gonna keep it, but I'm probably not gonna keep this one. This is the shade 3, and I don't know what the real name is of it. But this is just a little dark for me, and it's a little more red. It's like pretty vampy and pretty red. And while I really, really love the Candy Glaze formula, I am not going to finish that. And I would love to give it to someone who is into kind of a vampier lip. When if I'm going to choose a Candy Glaze, I'm just going to choose Scenic Brown, and I might as well focus on that. I'm too lazy to pull them all in. Let me count how many I'm keeping. I'm keeping 18 glossy products, and I'm decluttering 3. Feels like I kept a lot, but I do feel as though the colors I kept are pretty distinct. None of them really overlap. I was trying to be realistic about that. The lip oils from In Beauty Project I view more as lip balms, and I'm going to run through them. I'm okay with these 3 leaving me completely. I'm going to allow those to be decluttered. I do feel as though I'm almost done with these 2 lip glosses, so that will feel good if I, start actually using up some lip glosses. But I guess because I view the lip oils as something separate from the lip glosses, I view them as like nourishing products, more as like lip care as opposed to like makeup. Like maybe that's where the disconnect is for me. I'm not quite sure. If I still have so many of them by winter time, by the end of the year declutter, then I will just probably make some harder decisions at that time. That feels okay for the summer, and I feel like I do actually prefer like a glossy lip over a lipstick if I am choosing to like wear a lip color. So that feels like my truth. Here are all of my bullet and liquid lipsticks. I would like to make some progress here. I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like I want to declutter a lot of these. But we'll see. I don't think I'm gonna declutter like a ton, but I do think I want to be a little more discerning. So this one's going to be more about color comparisons rather than keeping the brands together. Do you want to end with fun colors, or would you like to start with fun colors? Because the nudes are really where we're going to spend the most time. So I think I only have one really purpley lipstick, and it's this shade Chianti from the now defunct Olivia Palermo line. And I don't wear this a lot, but I like to have something like this on hand. I'm not really big into berry tones, but every now and then I find myself leaning into it, and having the option is nice. If this was a little more mauve-y, well, actually, you know what? Actually, I'm not going to be that precious about it. I think I'm okay getting rid of this because it's just like, I don't know. Let's swatch Rosebud next to it. which is more of a nude, but it's like more of a pinky nude. And that's a little bit light of a color for me. I feel like I really live in like the mid-tone colors whenever I'm wearing a lipstick. Like I don't like to go too dark or too light, or if I go really light, I like to wear lip liner with it. And I do want to keep one of these at least because I really like the packaging and you really can't buy these anymore. And I think it makes more sense for me to keep the rosebud shade because it's pretty much my lip color too. We're not going to run into any other berries, so it's more like I think I'm just going to declutter it. I don't need it. I just really like the packaging of it. And since we're already doing bright colors, let's swatch some orange colors. This was a limited edition shade from Givenchy. It's the shade Brick. It was called Brick Flamboyant, but like if you find it, it mostly shows up as the shade Brick. And sometimes you can find those, sometimes you can't. I think the best way to find it is on the Givenchy website, which is where I've been finding it recently. I mean, I haven't worn this in a while, so I haven't tried to link it in a while. I feel like when it's on my lips, it doesn't look as vibrant as it looks here because it is sheer. My lip color comes through and it kind of makes its own unique shade of orange. And I also have this orange lipstick from Bobbi Brown. It's the Atomic Orange shade. And that's definitely like fluorescent orange. Here's the thing about this. Is I got it in gratis when I worked at Sephora, and that was now 3 years ago, but I definitely didn't get it in my last bet of gratis that I got in Sephora, meaning it's probably closer to 4 or 5 years old. I really like it, but I almost am never, ever going to have the need for something that's vibrant. And while it still smells okay, I just don't feel comfortable passing this on to anyone, so I am going to declutter this and dispose of it. And I will keep my Givenchy one because if I am going to wear an orange, it's going to be more akin to that than this fluorescent. But wow, it's such a killer color. I wish I still loved vibrant lips on me. I think another reason that I'm a little bit averse to wearing a vibrant lip at this point, this is going to sound so weird. I have larger lips, and I feel like when I put a bright color on my larger lips, it's just much more of a moment where it's like, whoa, that's quite the color. But whenever I keep it more nude, it doesn't feel like my lips are that big. And not that I want my lips to look smaller. It's just like a color like this is a lot all over the lips. I've tried mixing it with lip liner and stuff too, and I feel like it's still, there's like not a way to tone it down enough for something that I want to wear. But God, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I'm not going to declutter this. We talked about the lip liner a little bit ago. This is the She's Hard to Get lipstick from Patrick Ta. And I will say I really like Patrick Ta's lipstick formula. I know it's not quite like a focus that the brand has right now. They've been focusing on like releasing the cream powder duos that they seem to be so excited about. I'm not so excited about those, but I like his lipstick formula. I mean, also really bright. And you might be wondering, why is the pink okay and not the orange? I am more likely to wear bright pink than I am like a bright orange. So I'll keep that one. All right, let's talk about reds. This is from About Face. It's their matte lip color. It's the shade Fireside, which is a blue undertoned red, very like reminiscent of Ruby Woo from MAC. And then the other red I have is from Hourglass. It's their Red Zero. Now, I'm not a red lip aficionado. I did a video not that long ago where I wanted to do a red lip, and both of these were in contention, but when I tried all my red lips I had on at that time, I picked Red Zero, and it is just like a neutral red. So I'm going to definitely keep that one. I also like the formula of the Confession lipsticks. I wore this out. I tried really hard to give it a go, but I don't feel like I like a blue red, and I don't even really think I like an orange red. I do like a straight down the middle red. And while I thought it was really pretty on the lips, I actually didn't really care for the way it wore off over the night. And like by the end of the night, I was like touching it up, and I didn't really like the way it touched up. So it's not my favorite matte lipstick formula, but I'm not really super into liquid mattes anymore. It's definitely more comfortable than I remember them being 6 years ago, but it's still not a perfect formula for me. So I'm going to find that a new home. I have one more bright or like extreme lip color. It's the Sinister Satin lipstick from Black Moon Cosmetics, and this is the shade Omen. It's a very beautiful neutral black lipstick. I'm gonna keep that. Comes in handy in October, but also whenever I feel like wearing a black lipstick, it's nice to have on hand. And then one more thing before I wipe off this arm and we start just swatching a ton of browns next to each other. I have this from Revie Beauty. It's the Dahlia shade. I also have one other shade, but that's more for the browns. It's kind of close to that Olivia Palermo shade, but much sheerer. Actually, it's really close to Rosebud. But these are more like lip balmy lipsticks, and they're very, very, very comfortable. And this is my favorite shade of the Revie line that they have right now. They only have 3 shades right now, but this is the one that I like to wear the most. So I'm definitely going to keep that. And now that we're done with all of my brights, these were kind of not my brights, but you know, now that I'm done with the brights, let's start talking about browns, because I feel like we can narrow down the browns. I'm saying that for me more than I am for you. But let's start with this one from Revie Beauty, since we were just talking about them. This is the shade Lily. There is another shade, and I did have it, but I didn't like it because it was more of like a pink. But this is like a sheer nudie brown. I would say it's pretty neutral. I always think of it as pretty warm when I put it on my lips, but that might be just the pigment of my lips mixing with it, and it gives me that vibe. But very, very easy to wear. I would say the closest thing in finish I have to the Revie Beauty is the Merit lipsticks. Or I guess I just have one. This is the shade 1990 in the Signature Lip, the original line. I've heard people describe it as a cool tone brown, but I don't know that it wears that cool toned on me. The Signature Lips from Merit are still some of my favorite lip formulas, and 1990 is still one of my favorite lip shades. So I think I'm going to end up keeping that one just for I have the Revie Beauty one just kind of set to the side. This is like my lightest of nudie shades. It's from Makeup Forever, and it's in their Rouge Artist line. It's the shade 100 Empowered Beige. And I don't like this formula at all, but I do kind of like the concealery lip aspect to it. And I have been keeping this around because I want this in a different formula, but I also have not made the effort, and I'm sure I can find it in a different formula. It's not like concealer lip's not like a really unique thing to Make Up Forever, but I'm just holding on to it and I've not felt inspired. However, I recently came into some lip products where there's a shade kind of like this that reads a bit concealer lippy on me that I feel compelled to keep. So I'm actually just gonna declutter this in anticipation for me going through my reckoning. And I can find this new home. It's, you know, relatively unused. The thing about this formula is that it just like got into every nook and cranny and made my lips look really terrible. And the other formula that I have tried that has like a concealer lip, it's not quite concealer lip because it is more pink than this is. It just wears on my lips better. I just don't really love that formula. One of my browns out. And then I have Max Whirl, which is definitely like a pinky brown. I would still say it leans on like the side of warmth as opposed to being like a more neutral brown. I really like the shade, but something tells me I have something close. I also have the shade from Gucci, Cimarron. And I do feel like it has similar vibes. Or maybe it's just a little bit lighter and less pinky. Every time I swatch Whirl next to other brownie shades, because I feel like when I look at Whirl by itself, it's like, that's a 90s brown. And then I'll swatch like a more brown shade next to it. I'm like, well, now that's pink. Cimarron, I like the Gucci lip formula quite a bit. It's not my favorite lipstick formula, but I do like it because I do have another shade in this formula. And this was gifted to me by a friend, which I don't often take into consideration whenever I'm making my decisions on what I'm keeping and what I'm decluttering. I just don't know if Whirl's worth keeping. I definitely am going to keep Cimarron. I have this from Kaleidos. This is the Cloud Lab Lip Cloud Clay in the shade Echo Valley, which is brown. And I like this formula, but something that happens with formulas like this is like, I feel like the longer I have them, and obviously product goes off, and I don't feel like this has gone off, but I think the reality is that I don't really love a liquid lipstick, and I've gotten over it. I do sometimes like to wear it whenever I'm having a night out, because it is nice to have something that I don't feel like I have to touch up. But I'm not reaching for this. I think it's a very awesome color. I love that cool toned brown. Like, it is certainly the coolest of all of them. It's really, really pretty. But if I were to, you know, wear a matte lip, I think that the Kaleidos lip formula is really good. But it's just, the thing is, I'm not reaching for liquid lips, so I am going to declutter this. Then my other Gucci lipstick is a Royal Scandal, which they have discontinued, which is a bummer. And this is definitely really cool toned, but it also has some green in it. It has a little stink in it, which is really, really lovely. I guess it's kind of close to 1990, but 1990 doesn't have like the stink on it. And it is lighter than most of the browns, you know, removing those two shades. It's like one of the lighter ones. And I feel like I'm babying this because I really do like this shade. And I have kind of put quite the dent on it. Like a lot of my lipsticks don't normally make it to the point where they're almost flat, but this one is getting there. But the reality is I like it and I want to use it, and that's okay if I use it up and I can't buy it again, but I am not going to declutter it. I'm going to keep it. But something I have that's a similar vibe, and they also discontinued, is this is one of the lip stories from Sephora collection, and it has the same stink that this shade does, that greeny, mucky yuckiness to it. It has that in it, but it's a lot lighter. It's definitely more concealer lippy, which I have a little more issue getting into when it's not as neutral as like the Empowered Beige one from Makeup Forever. If they'll take it off me, I think I have a friend who will look really cool in this color. So I'm going to offer up to them, but I don't think I need it in my makeup collection anymore. And then I have this from Kofi Beauty. This was passed on to me from a friend. It's the shade Caudy Kiss. And it's a lighter nudie shade. It does give a little more warmth to me. I feel like there's like a little bit of orange in it. It's a really pretty lip color, but I don't always like love that warmth. And then this is from Natasha Denona. It's the I Need a Nude in Noah. Wow, I thought those were going to be closer, but you can see how warm this is compared to the other browns. I just don't think I'm like into how warm that is. I wish it was just a little more neutral. So I'm going to pass this on to someone else. Hopefully someone will take it off my hands. I'm going to keep them the Noah shade. It's so pretty. I also like the I Need a Nude packaging. The thing is, I often forget to wear this. It's one of those shades that I feel like I overlook because feel like I've had a lot of lip color recently. Like I just feel like a lot of lip colors come into my life, and I do want to give this the love it deserves. So I'm going to hold on to that. I'm not feeling particularly attached to Whirl or the Lily shade from Revie Beauty. So I think I'm going to declutter both of these too. This is another bright. This is from Odin's Eye and Judy. It's the shade Tulips, and it's an interesting pink because whenever I first got it, I was really thinking that it was very similar to She's Hard to Get, but it's not only a bit sheerer, it's also like more of a coral, which I don't wear a ton of. I just think that this lip shade is really special. This Odin's Eye lip formula is pretty similar to the Kaleidos one. So if you like this and you've been wondering, these are kind of similar. But I am going to keep this one. I think it's nice to have some brights amongst all of my yucky brown. Okay, I feel like I made some good progress. Let me count how many I have keeping and how many I'm decluttering. I'm keeping 11. Like, I feel like we've done some work here. I'm decluttering 9. So keeping 11, decluttering 9. That's almost half of my bullet lips. Is that what I said? Yeah. So I think I made some good progress. Some of these are aged out, and some of them I'm just not wearing. I'm going to reorganize this really quickly. You might be wondering why I space them out. I try to keep my lipsticks and my lip glosses separate because sometimes you'll have stuff that looks pretty similarly packaged and you'll be like, that's a lipstick. Oh, also this doesn't fit. So that just kind of has to sit on the side. But yeah, that's it. Excellent. Wonderful. I feel like that felt good. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Before you leave, I would like for you to go into my description box. I have linked to a family that needs help in Gaza. It's a GoFundMe, and I got that GoFundMe from Operation Olive Branch, which is doing work to help the people in Gaza get money directly to them to help their families get out. So please check that out down below before you leave the video. But if you are new here and you aren't subscribed, I would love to have you subscribe. Basically, the thesis I gave at the beginning of this video is the thesis of my channel. I want to help you and help myself build the habit of being more discerning about what we're buying and how much we are buying. It's not like always focused on buying, but that's kind of what the deal is. So I'm doing fashion content, fragrance content, and I also obviously do makeup content. My approach to shopping and things now is to buy really nice things that I know I'm going to use. And if they're more expensive, so be it. I just want to make sure that I'm buying things that I know I'm going to use as much as I can and love them for as long as I can. So that's like the goal here. So if that sounds good to you, I would love to have you subscribe. Make sure you like this video and share it with anyone who you think would like this video. I mean, I know declutters are pretty popular, but go ahead. That really helps me out. That'd be really nice. And if you are decluttering, let me know in the comments down below. I'm also on Patreon and I have channel memberships. You can check them out, linked down below. I do some additional content over there. If you want to check it out, feel free, but there's no pressure to liking, watching, commenting. That's really great for me, and you don't need to do any more than that. So no pressure there. But that wraps up today's video. Remember to follow your hope and you'll find me. And I'll see you in a video very soon. Go forth to doubt.